great outside of this event. It's what happens in the RMR that counts.
It's just that nuke, man. That's the thing that irks me the most. That's where I think it gets dangerous for fnatic here. So let's jump into Overpass in the fnatic map pick and see whether they can solidify a start in this series. Of course, they picked the map, so OneWin will pick the side. And as you expect, it should be a CT start for the OneWin side. Pistol round, let's get it started for our final match of the day.
Overpass for OneWin. We saw them play it yesterday up against Cloud9. Very good on that CT basis, Jay. They managed 12 rounds in that best of 3.
Let's try to do something similar right here and now, and of course, take control of the matchup if at all possible. It's glowing that starts things off alongside Deco. Crossfire locked towards the B site with the backstab inbound from short. 5 on 3. The bomb should get planted, but OneWin is so close to position. The Julie's wrapping over as Nico gets that kill onto Travis. Glowing with the trade back. Messi and Fasha with 2 of their own. A 2-on-2 situation. Flamey, however, domes in Fasha, and it's all on Messi. The IGL of fnatic hiding behind the pillars. Taps forward. Can't quite get the shots towards Flamey's position. He does get gooshed down to 5 HP, and now Glowing makes his way in.
Messi just trying to see if he can play the time. Now he's got the information on where both of those players are, but it's all about how he can draw those fights out into the open.
Trying to spot those headshots, but unable to get the kills in as of right now. Messi left with it all to do. High pressure environment for him, not just in this round, but also in this tournament. Given the reins of fnatic, and he will lose control. It will be Glowing to pick up his triple and pick up the pistol for OneWin.
I really like the way that OneWin adapted themselves there. So you had the opening pick that came through from Glowing to the Heaven control. You had Deco fighting the 5 on 3. And rather than giving the respect up to fnatic and saying, yeah, even though you got down by 2, get the bomb plant in. No, they just charge in. And it does equate to quite a few deaths for OneWin, but it means that there's no force buy potential. It means that fnatic can't come through. And what was the one thing that we were talking about yesterday? How many times did we see OneWin winning the pistol, but losing that second round? Now knowing that fnatic can't force buy, that's such a positive for OneWin.
Harsh Eco to follow suit. P250 in for Messi being the only real portion of the buy here. No Kevlar, no utility, no nothing here. This should be a formulaic round.
Even Messi's been fragging out quite well. One of the highest rated players for fnatic when it comes to the RMR so far. Testing time to try and see what the young man can do. The Brit to try and see if they can get fnatic over the line. Travis trying to see what he could do up against the clock. He's got to make sure he doesn't overextend too far wide and drop that FAMA.
Kill on Crims, doubled up the Fasha. Bomb drop, Deco finding Roy, and it's all falling apart for fnatic, as you would expect it. It's burst through sprays from Travis, gets the Quadra, and gets the round 2-0 stun. Not a lot of SMG kills, honestly, in that one. Could have been nice to build the money state, but it is still going to be a 2-0 start as fnatic get their guns out.
And when you compare both of these lineups when it comes to the roster transfers with some of the players coming in and coming out, I think for fnatic, there's had new AWPers, new IGLs, plenty of sub-players coming through. For OneWin, they brought in Flamey, they brought in Foster, and they got Lollipop, and that's it. We really have not seen a massive amount of transfers from OneWin at all. They've kept a solidified lineup for this entire year.
The new Forza, if you will. Remember how they didn't take many roster moves for like 2-3 years?
Yeah.
Of course, OneWin still very early in that particular timeline. But here they stand as probably one of the, not necessarily the longest running concurrent teams, but certainly from the Tier 2 region, a region where you would expect players to chop and change all the time. OneWin have stayed solid in their game plan. It's worked out so far for the RMR. Not working out in this round though. Roy picking up Travis, kicking things off for the T side.
Roy's going to be an incredibly impactful player here from fnatic, one of their strongest riflers to come. Just start defaulting their way towards the top of connector out there to the front of the bathrooms. You can see OneWin making some info plays, getting aggressive towards a short pipe. If they continue to press forward, they might be able to catch this info of outside a monster.
CT spread out towards that short control. Flamey almost wins the fight on Crims. Two veterans of both sides going blow for blow, but it is Crims that comes out on top. Glowing is forced to trade back on the A site instead. 4 versus 3. Damage done to 2 individuals of fnatic. And they're leaning towards the B play very early here.
Gamble stack here for OneWin. Incendiary down to short.
SMG spray goes all over the place. The Lollipop can't get a kill. Glowing and Deco can find the responses. 2-on-2. Jumps up. Crims gets the kill. Nico Odo's there for the trail on Glowing. And that is the first round found by fnatic.
A close one. Very nervous there from fnatic. You could see the way that the crossfire is being set. Deco's getting set up with that utility around him. And this is, without a doubt, going to be one of those best of 3s where the thinnest of margins make the biggest of differences. And right there for fnatic, it comes down to a clutch. It comes down to Nico Odos to get that last trade and to get fnatic up on the board with their first round.
Good start, but not that solid. The money damage is going to come in against them. Lil's on 2, Mac 10 for 1, and Mezzi. At least taking the sacrifice to set up his main stars to have the better firepower. Is taking point on the offensive though, and that Mac 10 could rip through a number of CT players, lacking in the helmet department for the 1-win buy, but Deco puts that Mac 10 out of its misery as Mezzi is first to fall.
Very clever there from 1-win. Travis, gets caught at a timing, looks the other way. I was just going to say, the gun barrel of Travis actually got seen, but they put Deco into such an aggressive position to just catch that sideline.
Jump out from heaven, did catch vision on Fasher to try force Lollipop forward. Molotov sent as Flamey will now hold position, expecting there to be a player that swings out. Damage overall favors the 1-win side. Crims on 13 is not a good look for fnatic, but the kill from Roy does look good, glowing down, and the A site has fallen with him.
And this might just be a hard save for 1-win. Just gamble on towards B, hope that fnatic don't continue that press up to A. You just don't have rotating positions, and hang on a second. This might still work out for 1-win.
Do they check Crimson Cubby? Does not. Adjustment gets them both. Renikados' support. Now Deco's alone with the AWP. Does land against the bomb carrier. That's 1 frag. And now held out in a corner, but not sure where to look. Does evade the fnatic face in from short pipe, though. The flank inbound from Roy, however, should close the pincers on this one. Smokes down to grab that bomb. They should commit to the A site for it.
Deco gets caught at timing once again. Roy looking forward, allows himself to get a couple of kills, and it is feeling like on the T side, fnatic do want to play the sort of timing Counter-Strike. A lot of walks, a lot of plays through smoke. Just see how much impact Roy is finding around this party control towards that front of the bathrooms. And 1-win seemed like they were shaping themselves up with that opening pick from Deco, but not to be. fnatic finding their second.
Evening up the board. And forcing the USPs out for 1-win this time. Harsh eco on the CT forces, double eco status for them. Lollipop looks like he spilt some water there, or something's happened to his...
That's okay.
That was a little bit weird, but that's okay. No tech pause has been called, not like it really matters. It is an eco, so fnatic should be able to have this one at the third. Just engaging against Flamey first and foremost. Again, the veteran battle. That actually works out in Flamey's favor. He got a dink off.
1-winner ranked first in RMR A on the City side for the highest round win percentage in the entire 5 games played so far. So one thing that we've always seen is good CT sides, and that's something that we can expect not only in this map, but throughout the entire series, is just that prod in early starts from them. Getting opening man advantages and multi-kills. That was something that definitely highlighted 1-win in the game yesterday.
If it's all down to the CT sides, though, then if fnatic get a good opening half here, then Overpass could be a breeze in the second half.
I'd agree with you on that one.
It's all about the context of what fnatic can do. 1-win. Try post up as much resistance as possible here in this eco round. Again, they've got that dink on Crims, and they counter the stack with the push forward from Flamey, so they will be all on A.
It's whether how low this time clock is going to go down. They might even have to deny the bomb a couple of times if they want to make something out of this.
Make the moves in. Another dink on Mezzi, but the AK locks out the opening kill. Follow suit from Lollipop. Finds Roy. Basher swings out to try and get Mezzi involved, and indeed, they will take down all individuals on the back of the A site. Flamey's backstab is going to be useless now. Maybe an exit, maybe a kill on Crims or Mezzi. Unlikely he recovers the rifles for it. But fnatic, the bottom line is the scoreline, 3-2.
And even considering for 1-win, the 4 players outside of Flamey together have less maps on LAN than the last player does of fnatic of Fasher. So it is one of those periods where we just don't see 1-win very often in this sort of an environment, in this sort of stature at the higher end of Counter-Strike. They've got to take that opportunity and work hard with it. And knowing the mental state of some of these CIS teams, I mean, they just grind, don't they? 1-win are just one of those teams online that if you see a new event pop up, they're probably in it.
With that said, they haven't been registering all that many online tournaments recently.
It could be because they qualified to the RMR.
Possibly, yeah, you're right about that. Only really focusing on ESL Challenger qualifiers. Of course, the Road to Rio qualifiers had a second place in CCT. That's basically been the extent of their last few months. All the attention turned on this LAN. Well, that is a strategy that seems to have worked out so far for them. fnatic to put them out of the last hurdle, though, especially with Crims getting the kill on Lollipop. Up to the boost. Is Glowing or Co going to be seen? Well, no. Nico scratches the AWP shot instead. 5-on-3.
I think Lollipop knows better than that. As soon as you go back in, you can't really double dip, and now Nico Erdos has even found a couple with the AWP. Punishing the small mistakes there from 1win, and that's an easy site take now from fnatic.
Travis tries to sneak in the backup and tries to catch players off on the short control. Dishes out quite a fair amount of damage, but nothing that will really lead to a kill or anything in this clutch scenario. 1-on-5 for Deco. It will be fnatic extending the lead on the T side now.
I'd like to see an early tactical coming through from 1win just to address some of the small maneuvers and mistakes that are being made over towards that B site. You can see the way that fnatic have just punished. A 4-2 start here on their map pick is a good position to be in. And Deco holding on to that M4. I don't know if he'll be able to hold on to it for the end of the round, though, because there is a hunt squad coming in.
Right up the face. Deco could get caught on fire. Like the fourth time in these first few rounds for 1win. Fortunately doesn't, but still loses the fight anyway. So all 5 alive with another solid all 5 alive round for fnatic. That is very impressive to say the least. Of course, losing those first couple of rounds, but bouncing back with 4 in a row.
And we've seen a good track record from fnatic on Overpass in the last few months. 6 wins and 1 loss. You can see the way that Crims, Mezzy, and even Roy are normally the 3 hard hitters when it comes to this map, and the recent success that they found on it. One of the highest picked maps in the pool. Saw it against Eternal Fire yesterday in that best of 3. 9 rounds on the T side was their first half scoreline, and went into the second half. Didn't give much leverage over to the Turks at all. Steamrolled over, had a comfortable best of 3.
All about comfortability here and now against 1win. Can make the argument that fnatic should be able to dispatch them easily because of the fact that they dispatched of Eternal Fire so easily.
If you use the chain logic, I guess.
Yeah, again, it's not a one-to-one foolproof example, but it is something that you could like make an argument for. Never that easy in these kind of matches. fnatic know that better than anybody else. 1win. The Eagles out on a deco round. Tactical was taken in the freeze time, so they had a moment to think about their forward strategy probably from beyond this point onwards. For now, they're stacking to the A side, which fnatic should try and read. Whether they can commit that bomb to the B site.
Haven't seen too many of the 1win steals when it comes to the ecos, which we're familiar with. I like the stack heavy play. Try and break a very aggressive setup from fnatic. We know that they don't mind some of the long walks. Try and see if they can bait them into the setup, because 1win are looking for mass damage in this round.
Damage done to Roy, however. fnatic not losing the player yet, but he is out in the open, isolated, and his teammates are going to abandon him here. Out from T-Con. He might swing towards long and get the information. They might consider an AK for that much. At least fnatic have got the right read. They are leaning into that B site, so they should be only contested by 1 man. Roy will find his escape plan. Try to join fnatic for the hit.
Just a fraction too late here for 1win. You could already start seeing bodies move over towards B, get that backstab set up. Going from heaven has not been smoked off, and from Mezzy's point of view, it allows himself to get the entry and to get the bomb down safely.
Very tight shot to hit. An AK especially at that kind of a range. Oh, now Roy hears the footsteps of the backstab incoming. How many is he going to find with this? AWP, another rifle get drawn to provide a little bit of support, so they might not even expect anybody in this corner. Oh, they might not need to react with that corner. With Nikodos hitting shots like that, Roy will clean up Deco, and now Travis and Lollipop. 2 versus 5 once again. fnatic making it look easy in these anti-ecos. No steals today for 1win.
Nico Erdos is sharp right now with this AWP. He's found some decent form, and that's expected, just knowing that he's been able to keep strong composure over the course of the last few games here at the RMR. Lollipop 21k can't win this round, so he's just going to try and charge in, look for an exit. Messi's close towards the bomb position, try and see if he can get down to the bomb. Travis doing some damage up towards T-Spawn, but it's only going to be 1 casualty. 5 rounds up and 5 more to go for double digits. fnatic in complete control here on the first map.
Nice and effective thus far. An efficient time for them, not only by taking these 5 rounds in a row, but also with the fact that they've just taken so many confident rounds at that. Very few players dying. Money is built like bricks as a result. $4,000 minimum Roy, 10 grand for Nikodos. Deco now, the AWP posted up. We mentioned how important this weapon is to him, so really can have an effect here in round 8.
Oh, what an entry coming through from Crims. That's Flamey to drop, and we saw him have a little bit of a stinker in the yesterday's game, didn't we? Only dropped 15 kills against Cloud9, bottom fragging in both maps in that best of 3.
He wasn't the only stinker on 1win. Sure, we'll address that as this matchup goes on. Trow is the next player to fall. Roy with the pickup. 5 on 3 as the AWP is forced to fall back to passive. Now going to play double duty, defending long and mid. Meanwhile, Lollipop falls on the B site, and that cleans it up entirely. They could just push that and get the bomb down. They will go towards the A play, which is a little bit risky considering the low HP on so many individuals. Deco, however, flashed off, blinded, glowing, can swing, dish out more damage, get a kill and a double, drop that bomb. This could get a bit risky if they keep giving him 1v1s.
fnatic have got plenty of time to work with, and still another flash from Fasha. A lot of map control being presented out here towards Banana, and Glowing is not seen anymore. He's trying to search for information to see where they are.
Well, this could be smart if they try the rotation back. Do fnatic have the right idea? Will they commit towards the A side? Looks like they will. So Glowing have to go for the retake from this position, but they might not be expecting it. Mezzi is posted ready to watch out from that mid position, so they have an inkling. Glowing's going to hear those footsteps, and now Crims' AWP will be watching for it. No one's watching in the bathrooms, though. Bomb goes down safe anyway. Glowing can lean in. Mezzi will not be seen. Not yet even. I thought there was a pixel to work with. He's walked past the AWPer, and now Mezzi's been spotted. That's one more kill back, but the AWPer Crim's able to respond. 14 HP on fnatic by the end of that round, though. That did get a little bit dicey.
It did, but at the same time, I wasn't nervous at all, because you could just see the way that it was only one individual, and you play the crossfire in the 3v1. Even on low HP, you're going to have the advantage to work with. fnatic, right now, are beaming. They're rolling them over quite easily. 1win have not put up a crazy fight at all. Definitely not the signs that we saw in the best of 1s or in the best of 3 series against Cloud9 yesterday. And that is a scary juncture to be in, because this is the half where 1win can put up the majority of the fight.
And 2 away from the half win for fnatic. Like we said before, if they're able to get a good T half, not talking about like, you know, anything like dominant like 13-2, at that point it'll be a formality, and regardless what half you're at, even an 8-7 victory or a 7-8 for fnatic, that'll be enough to throw this whole map out for Kilter. Walk forward into Monster. Mezzi now going to look into Lollipop. Back the corner. CZ does get away with 1, but Crim's quick to the trade.
fnatic just walking down towards B, and there's been some very good mid-round calls coming through from fnatic on Mezzi's part. There's a lot of stacks that are being presented here for 1win, and oftentimes it's not coming through to the side that's being hit.
Basher follows suit on Deco, Flamey 1 on 3 situation. With only 1 kill to his name. You want to talk about stinkers in that Cloud9 matchup. Flamey was the guy that you want to look at the most. Only got 5 kills on the first map. He doesn't have to be a star, but he needs to do a lot more than that here in this game. Here in this clutch scenario, it's a deco, so he won't be losing much because he's built his position by spamming bullets through the smokes. Doesn't get anything, and Nico does a no-scope through the smoke. Wish we could have seen that from our side, because that would have been a beauty.
Yeah, Flamey's actually the 4th lowest rated player in the entire event when we look at RMR A, down there with some of the teams and players that went 0-3. So concerning if this series continues on like that. Again, only 5 kills in map number 1 and 10 kills in map number 2 against Cloud9. That went 28 rounds in map 1 and 29 rounds come the second. fnatic keeping some strong composure. And you've got to imagine someone like Crims, who's played at 6 RMRs, 14 majors. He's even won a couple of majors. You think back to Katowice 2015, Cologne 2015 as well. Hasn't been to a major for a few years now. He'd love the opportunity to get back there.
This is his big chance. His only chance, really. fnatic currently in the favourite position to make it to the major themselves. 5 rounds ahead of 1win. Double AWPs coming out for Deco and Flamey now. He saw this a little bit in that Cloud9 match as well. Don't remember it doing all that much, having much impact over the course of that series. Let's see where it goes here on Overpass. Double nades up towards the boost. Will not find anything. 1win don't have that in effect. So no damage done.
Yeah, I remember seeing it for 3 rounds on Vertigo, and I think Flamey got 1 or 2 picks with it, and then the economy got ruined again, and then we never saw it. So 1win realized, let's change it up. We have not had much success at all on this city side. fnatic have played it very carefully with their defaults. You can just see how much success is continuing to reign through in the opening man advantage department to be the big factor.
Still passive defaults from the Fnatic side, just prodding away from that mid and the monster positions, hoping that OneWin can press forward and make a mistake. Not really happening at this stage, though. Rotations will come back from Fnatic and they'll try and rejoin that mid position. 45 seconds for the hit, and it's very little info gained.
Very defensive here from the city side. When you talk about A, look at the respect they're offering up towards the bathrooms and to the front side of that banana entrance. Travis finally starting to walk forward. Look at the shadow advantage onto Messi, but still loses that fight.
Both sprays awkward, but the AK does one better with the headshot. Now Glowing left alone. Rotations are inbound from Deco, coming in from Heaven. Had a signpost. The rotations actually might not even matter. Flame is posted. Orb up close. Gets the shot on towards Crims. All important kill now to reduce Fnatic to 4. They've got to press on. Deco's Orb now in from Heaven. Drops that bomb carrier and looks on for the next man. It's Flamey with the next kill. Nico Otis with the trade back for 5 seconds. It's all just coming a little bit too late for Fnatic. OneWin will get their 3rd round.
And do you know what that screams? That when I'm looking at that, it's just overcomplicating things. Fnatic have been very calm and just played a very simple game plan in the first few rounds of this half. It's just been default heavy, work on the picks, be able to get a feel of the round. And that was one of the first times that we've seen a late over-rotation with 20 seconds left on the clock. And I think for Fnatic, they just need to keep it safe, keep it composed, rather than overcomplicating things, because that's where we saw so much impact come through from OneWin.
Big sequence from the Orpers. They were the winning elements for me. I think it started off so awkwardly against the likes of Messi. But again, Flamey and Deco held their nerve even in the face of Fnatic's execution. Denying the half for the time being, but there's so much money for Fnatic, and well, 2 players did save, but it doesn't matter all that much. Money's still flowing. They can buy for the next couple of rounds. So that's what they'll do here.
You got to think here for OneWin, crunch time. Try and just get that economy down low, get rounds in a row. Fnatic with something quick, perhaps.
Well, Deep Smokes indicated they were going to try and press up towards monster control. Counter flashes in, sending a lot of utility their way. But just outside monster, they won't commit just yet. They do draw attention in from OneWin. There's 3 players on that B site.
So they fake the monster pop, and it does draw quite a bit of counter utility in for OneWin. You've got Roy, very aggressive up here at Park, hoping for an over-rotate. One of the A players thinking about a backstab approach. Even Deco trying to see if he can spot over towards connector side of Shortwater, just to see if what's happening with the T default right now.
There's a fair amount of utility thrown out there by Fnatic, so a lot of this is misdirection. Smokes in from Roy, going to indicate his presence here in the mid control. Got Travis in a connector to try and deal with him. The FAMAS versus the AK. But no contact established yet. A resmoke onto Monster might stall this hit even further. Or the Fnatic can just walk straight forward of it.
Flamey's going to have to take that first contact, draw the attention away. Crossfire's good, and it allows a couple of kills to flow into the mix.
Messi with a responsive Nikodos missing the shot though. 4 on 3. Lollipop's low. That nade's not placed accurately. Doesn't get the kill. Not enough damage being done. But a swing from Messi still gets Travis. As Glowing gets Nikodos back. It's a 3 on 2 for the post plant.
Coming through quickly. Messi trying to see if he can stall towards Heaven, but instead it's a rotator graffiti.
It's an all-important kill. Now Lollipop out of action. 2 on 2, moving forward. Deco's tunnel vision. Messi with the kill. Looks in for the ace, and that's exactly what he'll get. What a round from him to win Fnatic the half.
Beautiful stuff coming through from the in-game leader there of Messi, averaging a 1.16 rating so far in this RMR. His stats are good, he's put up the numbers, and he puts in the big rounds. That is huge from him, because it felt like there was a lot of leverage there for OneWin. You've got Lollipop 21k holding down the defense, Flamey 2, 3v2 advantage, but Messi says no to all of that.
To think as well, he didn't even have to get the ace to win Fnatic the round. His entries towards the B site and getting that bomb plant in would have been enough had the rest of his teammates formed around him. Just went that little extra mile. And Fnatic are that little bit past the finish line of this half. 8-3 means that OneWin can't get an advantage before they move to that T side. And they probably won't get an advantage right here. Half by with upgrade pistols. They do catch Nikodos off guard, but Crims is there with the AK kill on Glowing.
OneWin keeping that aggressive long stack involved with the pistols in mind, trying to turn away from the flash. Travis is good for the first. He needs some assistance from his teammate at the back, but instead it's Messi again with another one of those multi-frags.
2 kills to his name. And a little bit of pressure against several individuals. Roy, of course, did fall in that exchange. And now Flamey and Lollipop, the last 2 players left, will have to split themselves 1 per bomb site and just hope for the best from here. But CZ and Deagle up against the full gambit of rifles, in particular the case for Lollipop. held up close, should just get sprayed down. This should be a formality for this execution. He didn't get an exit frag. Not Fashida's fault, but that's it.
You wonder if pressure is getting to the 1-win side. Yes, this is Overpass, it's not their map pick, but you're still going into a game to qualify yourself to the major. You're going up against a strong team of fnatic, and all the signs of what we've seen previously are not quite here today. And that drills in further to the CT sides. You think about how strong they were against Spirit, Forza, G2, and even Cloud9 yesterday. This is going to be a tough day. Very tough best of 3 for 1-win.
Possibility of that being the case. We gave them the credit, though. Again, their run in the RMR has surpassed all expectations, and fnatic are not the top-end Tier 1 team that they, the name at least represents to guys like myself who've been around for 7 years. If
they get to the major and they start putting on some further and more consistent performances, they can get into that conversation again.
That's if, though. Here and now, the fnatic I'm talking about now is not that same team. 1-win, given at least a little bit of credit by us two. This map has turned into pretty much a bit of a stomper right now for the fnatic side. Glowing has found Roy at least, so the start in round 13 goes the way of the CIS squad.
Glowing, the in-game lead, has been the top fragger for 1-win for the majority of this first map. He's been putting in some good effort in connector and over to that B side, but would love some support. Deco, Travis, Lollipop 21k, some of the big players we're not quite seeing into full effect. An opening man advantage and a rare one at that for 1-win.
fnatic, are they going to respond? It's the big question at the moment here. They've slowed things down as they like to do. Get inside the heads of 1-win by passiveness and lack of information. Crims is the most forward player. He himself has also been flashed off, blinded, but no swing from 1-win to try catch him. His teammates join him, and it looks to be the B play.
Try and get those nades down towards Monster to do some damage, but instead it's probably going to be the short pop. Crims has been seen.
Gets the kill on Lollipop, though. Travis should be known. Flamey comes in from the sidelines. Fasher with the round flank. Does come up with a decent kill, but not quite the double. Mezzi forced to trade to a 2-on-2 again. Smoke comes up, and it will be the retake.
Mezzi just being able to be such a definitive piece in these post plants, and he's alive again, looking up towards heaven when that smoke starts to clear.
Flash does not catch anybody blinded. Mezzi watch that heaven smoke fade, but Glowing gets the headshot anyway. Now the AWP, Nikoroshi mentioned him during the pre-match. The scope would be her, but the shot misses out, and Glowing is able to get his triple. 1-win can get their 4th.
Glowing is putting on one hell of a performance right now. The 21-year-old, one of the oldest players in server for 1-win. Up to 13 kills with a triple. Saves both of those AWPs, so could chuck that back over to Flamey. Just trying to take those chances. You could see how much impact he was finding there from heaven on the rotate.
Brilliant stuff. Liber Tactical just came in from the fnatic side. See animations from Keita in the back. Moment to discuss things, because even though they are up by quite the margin, that margin could start to close. And let me tell you, 11-4 looks much better than 9-6. fnatic still got money, still have a buy.
Yeah, we saw him join the team only 7 days after the likes of Mezzi did. Two Brits in the coaching roles of both Ash and Keita, trying to see if they can make their way to the major. Make some history. Try and get more boys into the mix. 1-win. Trying to see if they can at least recover this half with a slight positive, get themselves up to 6. The issue is, even when they've been winning rounds, they haven't even been coming close to resetting the economy.
Spray suit from Travis and Deco, however, will at least find the starts here in this particular round. With 1 more to go, of course, fnatic will not be able to get reset that much. Maybe have some difficulties in buying on Crims and Mezzi. 5-on-3, certainly going to set them back on the back foot for this particular one. fnatic will fight for the win rather than the economy.
Flamey just cracked up into the angle. fnatic getting picked apart. Glowing down in Con's going to be able to respond with yet another frag. And now Crims, last one left, down to 9 points of health. No way that this clutch is coming forward. Lovely stuff from 1-win with that aggressive approach around Fountain.
Took a bit of time to formulate the successful game plan, but it has worked out in the late stages of this half. And you're right, Crims 9 HP, 1-on-4. There's no way he makes this work. He's trying to make his way around towards long where there are no CTs holding, and there's no one on the A defensive at all. So in theory, there's a way in which if he just ran straight there, he gets a bomb plant. Of course, the concern would be the post plant itself, and at this stage, money won't really matter all that much to fnatic. They will have a buy for round 15. Final round of the half, of course. So he's just trying to see what he can make out of this particular round.
They might as well see if you can make it winnable. Considering the fact that the money is so strong, no point saving the AWP. You've already know that 1win have got 2 of them, so they're not going to pick up a 3rd one, that's for sure. Get the bomb plant, take a couple of casualties with you, and just see what can get ripped out.
Lollipop has snuck his way up towards T-Con, so he'll have the information. You can see Deco starting to rotate with the AWP in from mid. Spots the man, and the UXP actually is enough to get that kill. Didn't even have the AWP drawn. There it is, 5th round of the board of 1win, trying to make up a few amends for what has been a pretty poor half overall. Again, 9-6 looks better than 11-4, and the best case scenario for fnatic is 10-5. Again, the buyout will come in for the last round of the half. See whether this explosiveness from 1win can come through one more time.
They're just trying to see if they can get more out of Glowing consistently come that second half as well. An AK to get safe forward for Lollipop. Those double AWPs still looking for the impact. fnatic trying to see if they can close in on the double digits. That would be juicy to go into the second half with that advantage.
And 4 of Travis posted up at the bench. Nades sent up to try catch him. Crim's caught tag to 22 HP. Incendiary sent from Glowing, trying to get the wall bang to get the kill. He's getting closer and closer. Crims is alive.
4 on B as of right now for 1win, so they've left Travis as that walker to just defend up to the A side, and when it comes to further information, you can see the way that Glowing can be quick on the rotate, but fnatic are already taking so much map control, and Roy with another cracking entry.
Beauty of a shot. Sprays in case he didn't get the headshot itself. Rotations coming in thick and fast from 1win. No one else is left on the A side. Still, they're given the breathing room by fnatic, so the defensive posts up in the back of the site itself, and it dumps it in a bank. And fnatic continue to slow things down.
Yeah, Roy currently ranked 5th in RMR A for most opening kills per round. We've seen plenty of them. That's another juicy one. And for 1win, they're going to try and search for information, but this could be the trap. This is what Messi's hoping for.
Locked on with the crosshair, gets the headshot effective. Leaning in, you see his eyes not taking his eyes off the goal for a single moment. Smoke seeing the try-suppress flame, but now both AWPs are back on the A side. The crossfires between these two with Stella over towards B. Let's see whether the other side of the map will yield similar results. Molotov's in, they're both going to burn. Flamey gets 1, Deco's such low HP, 4 on 2. Saw Fasher, oh, not quite getting the kill. I thought he did for a second, but the bomb is down, the retake is on, and it might be over very quickly for Lollipop. In the sight, doesn't quite get Fasher, Deco's alone.
Oh, 1v4, both AWPers being on the same post up there towards that truck position. And it just doesn't look possible at all. fnatic not over-peaking, not even giving Deco a chance at trying to get a couple of these picks together. Bomb's been ticked by quite a while, ends up dropping 10-5 at the half. This is so good from fnatic.
We talked about that CT basis for 1win. They couldn't win the half. They're 5 rounds down. That's going to be a major concern going into their T half, which is up after the break. Concerns for one win start with the first half. Only 5 rounds gained on a CT side for a team that you yourself, Dwayne, mentioned are one of the best CT sides in this RMR. It's concerning that they couldn't get that far on their first half. Now to the T side, Dwayne, what chances does the one win have?
Well, they're currently ranked 15th in RMR A on the T side for the highest round win percentage of 25.7. So it tells us, Jay, very strong on the CT basis, but struggles on that T side. We saw it against Cloud9 yesterday. You wonder what one day can make a difference. Can they turn things around?
That's just for RMR A, right? And
just RMR A.
European. Okay, so that's 15th out of 16
yes.
for the T side for one win.
Yes.
Oh dear. fnatic maybe in for a bit of a breezy time in this pistol round. Seeing them press forward in towards mid control. Now watching the backstab for the one-win camp, so they are aware that they could be just going to play in from Fasher. He's spotted, gets the headshot in. This might force the bomb to commit, but even Roy's watching the connector rotation, so fnatic have most of their bases covered.
There's just so many prods of information, and now Nicolas has got the backstab. He's seen that bomb. He knows exactly what's going on. The kills aren't quite coming through just yet. The P2K is going to try and get back into the mix, but all the information's here. That's what they can be happy about.
And a whiffed shot's not quite connecting for the main man. No warp in his hands, but just got to take those semi-automatics and see what you can do. Mezzy back up towards heaven, now spots against the P250 of Glowing. Raid boss in this round for the one-win setup. As Crims jumps faces, looks towards short control. The bomb will be planted, fnatic will be on the retake, so at least there's bonus money for one win.
They've got to start taking fights for one win. Get aggressive, start really mimicking some overpeaks to come through.
Glowing spams away with the P250, gets his kill caught on the relay by Nikodos, finally getting his trade back. 4-on-3 for fnatic. Now he swings forward, and there's the double up against Deco. Now he's got the smoke on the bomb, the CT's now up against it. With one win being so far away from the bomb, the harder cover's going to get in the way of Mezzy's defuse, so he'll just stick it, hold it. The kills come in from his teammates. Nikodos with a triple and an 11th round for fnatic.
Now the unfortunate factor that one win find themselves in is that bomb is not planted for heaven, so when they get aggressive towards Graffiti and they try and cut the rotates, there's nothing that you can do if someone gets onto the bomb. They were hoping that they could slow it down, that they could really establish some damage, but instead it's the backstabbing entity. It's Nikodos out from that monster control that made so much happen, and because of that, they just get onto the bomb, disallow any opportunity for one win, and even the CIS squad, rather than forcing up, take it light with the Deagles, want to try and see if they can focus all their attention on the next rifle round.
Very similar to how the second round played out for fnatic when they lost the pistol in that first half, of course. Slight better upgrades for the one-win camp. Don't count them out of this round until it's over, therefore. One good headshot could make the whole thing fall apart. So fnatic, recognizing this, passive on the defense.
One thing that we have seen from fnatic is some one-sided score lines. I think back to the Aurora game in the opening round, the 16-4 on Overpass that they managed. And then, of course, even against Eternal Fire, only briefly allowing themselves of the opposition to get to double digits of 10 and 11 rounds. One win. Trying to get as much out of this Deagle round as possible. Emphasis towards A.
Travis boosted up. Nikodos, be a bit careful, avoid hearing the footsteps jumping around the corners. They don't look towards the corner entirely. Opening frag found by him on fnatic, and ready to extend out against Glowing. The flashbang doesn't catch him blinded. And a lot more T-side players, but still gets the headshot against Deco. Triple in before he falls. Roy pop. Now going to be evaded on that M4. Nikodos going to make sure it does not fall into T-side hands. Flamey left alive.
And just trying to get as much out of this last single player as possible. 12 rounds up onto the board from fnatic, and from one win's position, just to know how much of an important game this is, you think about some of the players, the idea that Travis and Deco have never even been to an overseas LAN before, that Glowing is making a LAN debut, that even Lollipop 21K hasn't played at many of the big LAN events in the past. He played at a few minors back in the day when he was still part of Nemega, but this is not a team that we see very often in this sort of an environment, so trying to just make as much out of this best of 3 as possible.
So the credit I gave to fnatic, again, they have been to these international lands. They have had their chances at majors for some of these players. One win, never even been close. Travis going to find Roy, however. Maybe that overconfidence has been spawned by the fact that they have got their experience against this one-win camp. So the first casualty goes against the Mezzy, however, from Arsene finding Deco, sees Glowing's shoulder, but Glowing gets the better shot for the kill. 4-on-3 for one win.
Handled there from one win. fnatic try and go very hyper-aggressive, get in front of the faces there towards Park and Tikon. Now, Nikodos is still incredibly aggressive towards Party on an off angle, trying to make as much out of this as possible.
There's the spray through, glowing down. Even up on the CT basis. Now Fasher with his SMG against Flamey's AK. Not aware of how close he can be. And his back might be turned. It's a bit early with the spray. It does come together in the end, though. So advantage tips back the way of the CT forces. And there's a free AK involved on this B defensive as Travis brings that bomb in behind Lollipop. And Lollipop tries to look for the entries here. Nades will be sent, but the kill comes in before it even goes up. And Fasher's there for the final frag on Travis. 13-5 now for fnatic.
And when you just compare the idea that even for fnatic, while we haven't seen a massive amount from Fasher, we've seen both Nico Erdos and Roy attend a couple of majors with Copenhagen Flames. For Mezzy, he hasn't played at a major before, but he has been to a couple of RMRs. We saw him in IEM Winter, Katowice, a couple of seasons of EPL, only very recently at the Pinnacle Cup Championship. So getting more of that LAN experience around him, and overall you could just see the team formation being very solid on this first map from fnatic.
Yeah, no true star for me at the moment. Yes, Nigodos is at 19 kills, but that's in match with 19 rounds, so he's not having a godlike game. Even then, the kill spread is pretty good for the rest of fnatic. Roy, in particular, the bottom fragger, still making it 13 picks with those two against Flamey and Lollipop. Travis falls to the AWP. Roy gets a triple involved. Everyone down now for the one-win side. All 5 alive for fnatic. Another one of those very confident rounds. The flawless ones, which build the economy, build up the scoreline, 14-5.
And you can look at this from just a scoreline perspective and say, I expected more from one win. Like what we saw yesterday from Cloud9. But at the same time, I do look at it and say they haven't been given many opportunities. If it was still 5-14 and there are a few rounds where it came close but it didn't quite go their way, you could have more leverage. But fnatic have not given much breathing room at all in this first map.
Definitely an optimistic viewpoint for one win's part. fnatic certainly impressing us thus far. You're right about that. The opening kill has gone away with Nico here against Flamey. Now Mezzy's creeping up towards Underpass, and they have absolutely no idea about this. They could even find the bomb. The backstab against Glowing. Probably an easy 5-on-3 given the circumstances here. fnatic, so much map control.
Shadow advantage. Deco does win it out, so there's a response. But it's what happens after that fact, because Glowing's going to go down into Connector and get caught straight by Mezzy.
Advantage regained by fnatic as a result. Mezzy falls back out towards Connector. Going to try to challenge Travis. Seeing the gun barrel. That's info. That's a kill with Fasher finding Deco on the A site. Instantly just like that, Lollipop is left as the last man alive. And with one win, whole chance in this round, their basis of the round is snatched away from them for fnatic to look for map points. Lollipop will give it a bit of the old college try, but in the 1v4, know exactly where he is. They can adjust.
fnatic have had what a track record when we look at Overpass. The idea that it's 5 maps in a row being successful for them against some high-level squads. NIP, you can throw into the mix. Liquid too. And then, of course, some Tier 2 caliber opposition. A lot of wins in recent history. Lollipop 21K cannot say the same for his team. 2 losses in a row when we look at Overpass. Both being CIS teams of Iron Branch and Cloud9. Out to Monster Crims towards the right-hand side. Oh, no! This has got awkward. Okay, we can settle. For a moment there.
I wanted that knife.
Yeah, wanted it a bit too much. At least Nico Erdos make sure that doesn't get completely out of control and somehow winnable.
It would have added to a confident affair that Crims has had so far in this matchup. Again, not the top fragger, doesn't need to be. But far better than the veteran on the one-win side. We mentioned how Flamey had a bit of a shocker against Cloud9 the other day. And, well, still 7 frags deep in what has been a 20-round game. It's not helped the basis, all of one win. Falling apart on the T side like we thought might have been a possibility and a likelihood. 10 map points for fnatic to work with. Even if they lose this one, they've got many more chances to close this one down and take Overpass here. Mezzy in the mid control, backed up by one player in Connector, who might be heavily pressured in Roy's part. Does get the damage on Travis. The kill was found. Mezzy with 1. Trade potential's right there. Wrap around that corner even further. Thinking about it. Got to deal with Deco as well. Might need some further backup of his own right. Travis gets the trade.
One win can't just explode off of the back of this. Yes, they were able to manage a quick peek in towards that divider position, but it's because the bomb is all the way back at Tikon. And look at Crims. He's going to get bomb control now.
That might seal the deal on this map up, honestly. Still a 4-on-3 for 1 when they can find those trades, but with Crims being in this powerful position, if they don't have their wits about them up here in Tikon, this will be the major chance to, I take that advantage right back, looking in. Got to find Flamey at the right time. And the battle of the veterans goes the way of Crims one more time. 3-on-3 for fnatic now, and time is of the essence.
And this highlights the minimal mistakes that we've seen from OneWin over the course of this first map. They did so much right with the contact towards the front of the bathrooms, out to Divider, but look at what's happened. They've now got to try and fight for the bomb control, and it has to end up on B.
Crims at least stands alone, but he fights well on his own. Kill on Lollipop. Travis is low. Deco's got to come in with support. 9 HP, one good burst will do it. And even then, Crims knows that the time is low. They've got to grab that bomb, commit to the site. 15 seconds. I think it might already be over right here. Engagement. Deco stands and fights, and they line up for Crims with a quadra to close it. 16-5. Utter confidence from fnatic.
A solid performance coming through from fnatic, and it just shows the composure that they can bring in the first half, in the second. An outstanding performance in their map pick of map 1. Not much of a challenge from OneWin.
Yeah, if you're one when you're looking at this situation, trying to take the silver linings out of it, knowing that it was all down to the CT bases, that where your most success is found, and maybe on Ancient that might be their main basis to work on that second map. It is also their own map pick, so we head towards the break. We'll break it down and look to see where the OneWin can recover.